Hello and welcome to this training video, and if you're a losing retracement trader, breakout trader or level trader, then you absolutely need to watch this video all the way till the end, because I'm going to show you that you're being tricked, and that if you don't change direction and learn to look at the markets in a different way, you're always going to lose, and essentially you're just going to lose everything that you put into this in terms of your trading account and all the time, etc., and heartache that goes along with it. So I'm going to show you why you're being tricked and how you can turn the tables so you can trade alongside the big banks and institutions, because at the moment what's happening is you're being essentially used so that they can transact efficiently off the back of your money. And you know, how many times have you ever taken a trade, you've got the direction right, but ultimately you get stopped out and it goes without you, unfortunately, on board? And that's what we're going to show you today. And I'm also going to show you a trading setup that you can use in this video so that you can essentially make hundreds of pips with this trading strategy on a monthly basis. So let's dive in. So it's important to understand how a bank works. When they are transacting, let's just say they want to transact at the number 100, right? And they've got a big order to fill. So let's say that order is $30 billion, okay? Now then, if they find this level, so let's just say they want to do business at a level of support, as an example. You can say at price 100, but the problem is there's no sellers there, because the actual level itself is very obvious. It's been touched several times. And as you know, if a level's been touched several times, the idea out there, the narrative that's out there in the trading community is that the stronger the level gets. Unfortunately, that's not true. What it does do, though, is it makes it very obvious. So it makes your moves very obvious, and that's a bad thing. So the bank wants to buy at 100 just like everybody else, but that's a problem for them, because they're trading in such large quantities that if there's not enough sellers at that level, then essentially they're not going to be able to do business. Because imagine they start trading and they get maybe, say, 5 billion done at the level. What's going to happen is price is going to start accelerating away from that level without them being able to get the rest of 25 billion remaining, the rest of that order finished off. And obviously if they then start piling in again, and let's say 10 billion, price is just going to explode, and it's going away all the time from that 100 price, and that's called slippage, and they can't have that. So what's happening is, to you, is that you're being used because the bank can't allow this situation to occur. You're being manipulated, you're being tricked. You're being told to trade breakouts, retracements and levels, but the problem is what you're actually doing is you're providing liquidity for the bigger banks and institutions. Let me quickly explain. So we've got this level. It's a well-defined level of support. And as I said, it's been touched several times. It's coming back in for the third touch, fourth touch, so it's even better. It's been hit even more times. And the question is, if you were looking at this level and you wanted to go long here, believing that this was a good place to buy, where would you place your stop loss? Okay, just think about that. Where would you place your stop loss? And the chances are, what you will do is you will place your stop very close below that level, maybe 5-10 pips, something like that. And what happens is there's a clustering of those orders in and around that structure, and there's several reasons for it. People are trying to essentially manage risk. People don't like to have stop losses miles away because they don't want to take that much risk on board. And even though it's really risk is all about percentage of account that you're willing to take on a trade, people just tend to cluster around these structures. Been proven many times that people hide behind these structures, and some of the other reasons, one of them in particular, is that you get taught to do that. And this is part of the problem. You're being taught to do completely the wrong thing. So you place your stop clustering below that level, and then you go long and you buy, hoping that the price will follow through. But the problem with that is that everyone's trying to do that. The banks are trying to do that. So what will happen is that price will be manipulated, and instead of it going up, it's just that your moves are too predictable, and that's why you're taking candle at edge. as this zone, this sweet spot where there's this huge amount of liquidity that allows them to do the buying in the face of that selling, that forced selling. It's forced because people don't want to get stopped out, but they're being forced out of those positions by virtue of the fact price is going down into those stop losses. Not only in your initial analysis, it's just that your moves are